what's up? Welcome back to Melissa Hager TV. COVID-19, the coronavirus. What do we do? Just a couple thoughts, food for thought, ironically. A couple thoughts for you guys to think about in this strange time, this unpredictable time. I actually live here in Michigan, and Michigan had a really slow rise to our numbers just a few days ago. Not a whole lot was happening compared to some of my friends spread out elsewhere throughout the United States. And then all of a sudden today, like, our numbers almost doubled, and it looks like that's going to be the case here for a while. We'll see. Time will tell. I think 4 days from now, 6 days from now, 10 days from now, we're going to see a whole different story. I don't think we're even in the large mix of it yet. It's Monday morning, and we just hit 53, and I know there's many states that have way more than that, but it will definitely play a toll, and we'll see what happens. But these are some things that I don't think we all think about. That, you know, it's natural in this time in a crisis to kind of hunker down and think about yourself, think about your family, your children, your spouse, and that should be top priority. That definitely should be the case for most all of us. I live in a very small community that has close by neighbors, but also it's a small town. It's not real huge. And something I was thinking about was we just moved here last summer, and everybody, like, we live on a corner, and so we got neighbors on each side, but also I can see down the street. And everyone we have met so far, besides the one family that lives right next to us, are all 70 and above. They're very much older than, like, the whole area, like both sides. And so I was thinking about this. I was like, wow, and they're active. Like, they're very active senior citizens. They act like they should be taking care of us. It's always like, oh, go ahead and pick pears off of our tree, or go help yourself to some of our bonfire wood back there. Every time I see them or do the friendly, hi, neighbor, it's always they're offering things to my family. Like, can I make the kids lemonade? Very sweet things like that. Like, they feel obligated to take care of me and my family. Well, here we are in a time where they need to be staying inside. They need to be staying home. They need to not be going out for gas, not be going out for groceries, not be going out for extra things. They need to stay home. So I think that it's a time you don't have to actually make contact with them. You could leave a note on their door. You could, take a piece of tape and, like, knock and then tape it on the window, and step back and let them read it. Or you could leave a note, slip it under the door. You don't have to make physical contact. I mean, that's the smartest thing you can do. Wear a pair of gloves, hand them the note with a pair of gloves. Our elderly people should not be out fending for themselves whatsoever. And I think it is our time to shine, all of us. We got a lot of teenagers that are off of school right now. If they are a responsible teenager that, needs some extra money, maybe their part-time waitressing job is now done because all Michigan bars and restaurants are closed as of today. So maybe they need some part-time money to fill in the gaps, or our 20-something-year-olds who already have a minimum wage job, and they're like, great, now what do I do? I can't even barely make it on minimum wage, and now it went to zero. These are all things that our elderly people, now it's nothing you should expect from them, but that they would love to offer tips. Or maybe you start a little service through a Facebook Live, or use your Instagram as a way to put that service out there, and come up with a plan. Come up with a way that you can help and be of service without reinfecting more people or more things. I mean, I'm not saying that we're all infected, but the chances of many of us ending up with this is very high. So a lot of us are well and healthy enough that it will, kind of be a minor blip, in our radar. But some of our older people, that is not the case. We've seen it in other countries. We saw the numbers. We know what is happening. It's not going to be a day in the park for any of us, but we know they're likely not to even survive. So I think, getting yourself a box of gloves at your local hardware store, or a lot of the places that what I have found locally that still have product that we need the grocery store is the first place people go. But if you check your dollar stores and your hardware stores, your True Values, those kind of places that aren't known for their groceries or their toiletries or their cleaning supplies, but they do still carry them, you're going to be surprised the pockets of product that you find. So go get yourself a pair. I got a box of gloves from the hardware store. Go get yourself a box of gloves, put your gloves on, get your Lysol wipes or whatever you're using for a disinfectant, put it on your passenger seat. Put your little ad out there, make yourself some kind of ad or a status on your social media or anything, and offer some services. Who needs their car taken to get gas? Who needs somebody to go pick up some groceries for them? Who needs somebody to go take them to an appointment? I mean, that's even another possibility. Obviously, now you're going to be in closer contact, but maybe take stuff to the post office for them or pick up their mail from the post office. Hundreds of people in every town have P.O. boxes. Maybe they need you to go to the post office and pick stuff up for them, or maybe go do carryout. A lot of restaurants in Michigan are still doing carryout. Go get their carryout for them and bring it back. Again, you can let them know you're there, honk your horn, make some kind of noise, knock on the door, and then leave it. Don't even touch. Don't make contact with them, and encourage them to even wipe down the stuff they're taking into the house. These are just all things that came to mind today that I thought could be helpful in a time where obviously I have grandparents alive. I have parents. My husband has parents, older parents, and I don't want to see anything happen to any of those people. I have a lot of friends very near and dear to my heart that are older and have breathing problems or underlying issues that will be a problem if they contract this. But I'm also thinking about them, and I thought, wow, how are they going to get things? How are they going to get their medicine from the pharmacy? How is that stuff going to happen? So these are all things I would really like you guys to consider and make sure that we are all looking out for each other. Like I said, I know it is our first job to protect our families, protect ourselves, protect our kids, our spouses, and that's our number one instinct. And as humans, we're just selfish. It's a natural thing. But also, it is a time for us to be neighborly and get to know people that maybe we didn't know before, and just say, hey, is everything okay in here? Is there anything that I can do or anything that you need? And I'm not saying any of us need to be out running around or putting ourselves at risk, but like someone like me, I do stand-up comedy for a living. I was in all of last week, before they mandated all the shutdowns, I was hired and I was in comedy shows that were in front of 100 people every single Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of last week. So the chances of my exposure are pretty good. I mean, we're not going to know for another week or two, and I've done a great job showering. Every time I come home, my clothes go straight into the wash machine. This is a process I learned from a friend of mine who is obviously, their state is having a lot more interaction with COVID-19 as of right now than we are, but it's something that we've adopted in our family. Since the first case hit Michigan, my children have not left the house at all. They're on lockdown. They're not leaving. My husband's a truck driver and I'm a stand-up comedian. We both have been out into the public, and here's what we've adopted as our policy for coming back into the house, and maybe this will help you, maybe not. We do have a box of gloves out in the garage. When either of us come home, we go to the garage, shoes come off, and a pair of gloves go on, and all the clothes that we have on come off, and with the gloves in hand, go down into the wash machine, and we hit start. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, a great friend of mine, Jackie, he showed a great video on the proper way to take gloves off. You have your gloves on, on one hand, you pull the fingers loose, and pull that glove off, and then with your naked hand, you go underneath the glove and flip it up and make it go inside out, And then as an inside out ball, it gets thrown away. So that's a way not to like reinfect yourself. Also, something to keep in mind is they're finding that the coronavirus can live longer on glass, which is on a lot of our cell phones. So make sure you're wiping down your cell phones. Don't forget, we're all doing our doorknobs and our handles and all of that kind of stuff, but we don't always think about the simple thing, the remote control, the iPhone, your Android phone, all your cell phones. That stuff is important too. So after we get our clothes into the wash machine, and then we do that little thing to get our gloves off, put them in the garbage, and then upstairs to take a shower, and we got antibacterial soap in the shower, and then we start, with whatever it is we were going to do. But that's our process right now of coming in and out of the house, just trying to do our best effort at keeping COVID-19 away from the Haggers. And whether it works or not, we don't know yet. We have no idea. But you know what? If we do get it, at least I know I can go to sleep that I did my best. And I think that's the thing. There's a lot of people like hysteric about this. And there's a difference between being prepared and knowing what the plan is for you and your family and being like crazy hysterical. Don't let yourself get hysterical. Don't let your anxiety rise up. Try to keep your thoughts about you. And I know, easier said than done. I know. But come on, guys. We can do this. We got this. We have generations before us that have been through way worse. I mean, imagine sending your son off, because the service called and they're being taken away from you to go to war. We are in a time where all we have to do is hunker down for a month or two and to get rid of this and not lose any more of our citizens. And we can do this. We can definitely do this. So check on your neighbors. Think about the elderly people in your life. Think about who they are, what they need, things that you can do for them. And if you're a young person really needing to figure out a way to make some money, that's a good service that you could offer. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you are all safe, and I hope that you are all well. I will talk to you again soon. Melissa Hager TV. Make sure that you subscribe, and we will talk again soon. Bye, guys.